All right, so one of the best real estate investment strategies is wholesaling recreational vacant land. In this video, I'm gonna show you 9 steps on how to wholesale recreational vacant raw land and how we do it every single day. All right, so first I'm gonna show you all the steps necessary to launch this business or this real estate investment strategy. Then I'm gonna show you how to bring it all in together. And by the end of this video, you're gonna have the tools and resources that I use every single day to do this business. So make sure you stick around to the very end because I've got free gifts galore for you. All right, so step number 1, let's talk about definition. What is the definition of galore? It is actually galore, but magnified even galore. So I just literally created that term on this video. Hopefully it's a term I created, so I'm gonna coin it now. So just wanted to let you know that for those that are following. All right, first step in the 9 steps to wholesaling vacant raw land is number 1, pick your playground. And this is where you live. Like, this is our playground. This is our farm area. We're now gonna farm this area of vacant raw land. And I like that area to be at about a 2-hour radius. Why 2-hour radius? Is because, sometimes you're gonna have to drive to this land. I don't want you having to get on a plane. In the very beginning, I would go out on the weekends and look at this land, or maybe nighttime, but I had to be very careful about that because once I got stuck on a piece of land overnight and my wife was like calling all over the place. She didn't know where I was at. She was calling Jen, my acquisition manager, because I wasn't home and it was like midnight and I had no service, no cell phone signal, and I was stuck in the snow. So don't go out to an unknown area after dark. Next, we have to talk to landowners, and that is getting a list of actual landowners. And I'm gonna give you the first resource now. It's on a screen, but it's price.com/thelandsharks. This is a list. This is a way to get a list of landowners today for very affordable. If you use this link, you're gonna get your first 200 records free by just clicking this link. And this is gonna give you a list of landowners. Who better than to start figuring out how to buy land than talking to actual landowners? And I want it to be in your 2-hour radius, in your circumference, your area or radius. Like this is a pretty big area. You can find a lot of land in this area. And I want to just give it a disclaimer. I didn't actually go out to that parcel of land at dark. It actually just got dark on me and then I got stuck. So I just want you to be familiar with that, and always go out with a full tank of fuel, water and warm clothes, and maybe even a shovel to dig yourself out in the snow. But no, let's be serious. I've bought over 310 parcels of land and I don't even go look at them anymore. There's people in the area. We've got Google Earth. We've got Facebook buy-sell groups where we can actually hire people to go and look at them and take photos and videos for us. But in the beginning, I looked at the first 10 or 20 of them. All right, next, we have to communicate with this list. And I'm actually gonna give you a very special postcard that I've used to purchase tens of millions of dollars in real estate, to include vacant raw land, houses, commercial office space, and even our 19-unit apartment complex that we're working on right now. Before I give you this very special postcard that I use to rake in millions of dollars in real estate, I want you to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and hit that shiny red button and then turn all the notifications to all. That helps the algorithm of the famous YouTube, and it shows them that I'm actually someone you want to watch, and go ahead and subscribe. So thank you so much for that little donation of subscription to me, and let's keep going. As I promised, that free gift, and don't stop watching now because I've got a lot more for you, but that is thelandsharks.com/postcard. And you can click read more below and click that description. That's thelandsharks.com/postcard. I'm gonna ask you for your name and your email, and then we're gonna email that to you. All right, next, now that you've mailed them this postcard, this little postcard, and you can use the actual mail service. I'll tell you the exact mail service that I use to send out these postcards. Her name is Tara. I've been using her since 2016, but that is by going to landofferletter.com. It's on the screen, landofferletter.com. Fill in your name, your email, and your phone number, and Tara will be calling you. I don't get this. It's not coming to me. I wish I got your name, email, and phone number. We can be pen pals, but this goes directly to Tara at 3D Mail, and she will contact you, and you can start mailing these postcards very, very affordably. If she sends just a few postcards for you, they're like 49 cents a piece. If you send them on bulk, like $5,000 a month, they get down to like 38 or sometimes 42 cents each. So it's a very affordable way to start communicating with landowners. But let's talk about the communication with landowners. Step number 4, I'm gonna give you a script of exactly what to say. And some of the things in that script are, can you tell me a little bit about the property? Why would you consider selling now? What do you think the property's worth? How'd you come up with that number? And oh, hey sir, by the way, or hey man, by the way, if I could pay all cash and I can close quickly, what's the lease that you would take on the land? And then I want you to put your hand over your mouth and mute your phone and don't say a single word until that seller talks. And then after they tell you that number, I want you to say, oh, and sound disappointed. Is that the best you can do? And you notice how I just got really silent there? It got really uncomfortable? Imagine how uncomfortable it's gonna be when you do it the first time. So just be prepared to wait. All right, next. Step number 5 is getting that parcel of land under contract. And I don't like to say contract. I'm just saying it for this video, but I like to call it purchase agreement. But you gotta get that property under contract via purchase agreement. Don't ever say contract to a seller or a buyer, because what do we think when we hear contract? I think of LA Fitness, or I think of Anytime Fitness, or I think of Planet Fitness, where I'm trying to get them to stop charging my bank card every single month because I got to get out of that contract. Now they want to buy out of my contract, and if I want to fight them, I got to go to court. Like those words mean a lot. Don't say contract. We think of negative things when we say contract. Let's talk about purchase agreement, because we're agreeing to purchase that parcel of land, and that's what the seller wants. They want us to agree to purchase, and for us to agree to purchase, we have to come to a meeting of the minds and decide on something. But I'm gonna give you the exact purchase agreement that I use every single day in my business that has purchased us tens of millions of dollars of parcels of land and houses and apartments and you name it. And that is thelandsharks.com/contract. And I know you said, Brent, don't use contract, but I'm just keeping it super simple. Contract is shorter than purchase agreement, so it's just an easier web link. So it's also below in the description, but that's thelandsharks.com/contract, and you can get the exact purchase agreement that I use every single day in my business. And oh, by the way, this thing is assignable. You can sell that purchase agreement for, whatever dollar amount that you and your buyer decide on, but you can sell that purchase agreement by assigning that contract. All right, before we go to step number 6, I want you to tell you what to do with this purchase agreement. I want you now to bring it to a local title company and have them open up a title policy and start doing the researches for liens and encumbrances, make sure everything is good with this land. And then step number 6, I want you to start marketing that parcel of land. But you really gotta be careful on this. If you don't have a real estate license, you can't actually market the land. But your purchase agreement that is assignable says that you can market it and find a buyer before you actually purchase the property. So I love to have my buyer lined up before I actually pay money and close on this parcel of land, because what if I get stuck with it? What if it's not worth as much as I think it is? Well, if I haven't paid for it yet, then I'm not stuck with it. And I want to give another disclaimer here. When I gave you my purchase agreement, that link, I want you to have a licensed real estate attorney look at that purchase agreement and make sure it's legal to use it in the state that you're currently located in. So going back to step number 6 and marketing that property, marketing that actual purchase agreement that you have that says that you can sell that thing simultaneously to another buyer. Where do you market it at? Craigslist, signs work very well. Facebook buy sell groups. Think about it. It's snowing like crazy in the northeastern part of the country right now. How about we market some Arizona or some Florida land to people in Michigan and Wisconsin? Maybe they'd like to get out of that snow for a little while. So think about where your buyer is coming from, who your buyer looks like, what your buyer does, what your buyer eats for breakfast. You want to know them very well. All right, step number 7, now that you've already marketed the property on Craigslist and Facebook, now you need to communicate with that buyer and get some sort of commitment. Get a signed purchase agreement from them saying they're gonna purchase the property from you at this much money or this much money down and this much money per month, and you create a note now that pays you every single month. And that is step number 7. Step number 8 is go to the closing table and get that thing completed, wrapped up in a small little bow tie. You purchase the land from the seller and then you sell the land to your buyer, whether it be for cash or seller financing, you name it. And then step number 9, I want you to celebrate this win. I want you to take your family out to dinner, your kids, your spouse, your dog for a walk, whatever it might be, but you have to remember to celebrate. This is the 9 steps to wholesaling recreational, vacant land. I hope you appreciated all the resources that I gave you. Guys, I've been doing this since 2016. It has changed my life. I've done over 300 parcels of land. It got me out of the military, and it gave me three things: time freedom, financial freedom, and geography freedom that allowed me to get out of the military and do what I'm doing today and enjoy what I do today. So if you're interested in something like that, if you're interested in figuring out if real estate is right for you, head on over to thelandsharks.com. That's thelandsharks.com, and schedule a call with me and my team over at Wholesaling Inc. I am a proud land coach of Wholesaling Inc. We're helping people every day. It's student first, and I'm looking forward to coaching you on your land journey.